Hello, and thank you for tuning into the Stuff I Heard podcast. I'm your host, Josh Peak, and it is hot. The summer has arrived. We're in May now, almost June. This is Memorial Day weekend, and oftentimes people get confused by the holidays. They're not certain if they should tell veterans, Happy Memorial Day. I don't think that most of the public understands what Memorial Day is, and all it takes is a quick Google history search. Um, Memorial Day is to honor those who have died in combat serving their country. And it is a good time to reach out to people who who has family members that's passed away and sort of give them their condolences and tell them, hey, just wanted to tell you I'm sorry for your loss. I'm proud that your son or daughter or husband or wife or brother, or uncle, cousin, whatever, served and fought for this country that we live in. Now, there is a lot of history that is problematic when it comes to the military. There's a lot of things that have happened in the past that makes it difficult for some people to give honor to folks in the military. And, you know, I was in the Marine Corps. When I served, I did not understand a lot of the things that people did. I didn't understand the sacrifices that people made. I didn't understand what the Second Amendment really meant. I didn't understand what nationalism was. I didn't understand the patriotism behind people's love of the American flag until I served. And then when I did, it gave me a new light into what is important. Suddenly I realized that there were lots of people, I'm saying probably millions, who have died trying to defend this land and this country and these people. And while I was in, we had leadership at times that we questioned and leadership that we thought didn't make the right calls. And you realize really quickly that it's not necessarily about them. Your service there is not to them. Your service is to the greater good, the bigger cause, the country that you fight for, the family that you have back home, your friends, your loved ones. It's about the guy that's standing right across from you that's also doing the same thing for the same reasons. And, you learn to adapt, you learn to grow, you learn to work together, you learn to put aside your differences for a greater cause. Someone asked me recently, what did you learn while you were in? And I learned that we are better together and that we can accomplish great things when it's not just me, when it's we. Um, Pretty soon, pretty rapidly when you're in basic, you learn that you need everybody to be on the same page in order to accomplish anything. And that if you work together, you can accomplish anything. And it's hard when people don't follow through. When I got out, one of the hardest things for me to get used to was the fact that people would tell you they're going to do stuff and they wouldn't follow through. And it got me in trouble a little bit because I would I would get upset. I would have words with people. I would call them out and say, "You didn't do the thing you were supposed to do. You had one thing you said you were going to do, and you didn't do it." And I may have used some colorful language along the way to have this conversation with this person, but in that process, I had a hard time really understanding why people would claim to want to do things and just not. Um, it was baffling to me, and it still baffles me. Yesterday, I had a lot of people at work just tell people outright, I don't want to do this. I'm not working. I'm not going out today. I quit. We had people quit yesterday, and there was nothing out of the ordinary that needed to be done. There was nothing extraneous. There was nothing. I mean, the job is an extraneous job, it's a physical job, but nobody asks them to do anything that they haven't done 1,000 times and aren't willing to do at the drop of a hat because we've done it so many times. And my day in the beginning of the day was looking progressively worse, but I knew that once I got out there, I could get it done. It's just a matter of getting out there and getting it done. And there were a lot of challenges along the way. Um, I don't think that people understand that life is full of challenges. I think that they're somehow conditioned that everything is supposed to go their way. And when it doesn't go their way, they want to remove themselves from the situation as soon as possible. And I'm like, okay, well, I understand where you're coming from, but also you're not going to achieve any of your goals if you have that mindset. You're going to have obstacles in life no matter what you do. There's going to be things that you have to achieve that are going to be unsurmountable at times. And you got to be willing to do the work. Now, work is a 4-letter word for a reason. It makes you say some 4-letter words sometimes. But the end result of it is that you get to provide for you and your family to get things. You know, I know they say that money can't buy happiness, but it can pay for a air conditioner that goes out. Yesterday, while I was at work, during all of the confusion, my air conditioner decided to quit. I have had an issue with this air conditioner for a while. It seems like every couple of years it needs a new part. And we put a new compressor on this thing 3 years ago. We've been in this house 15 years. We built this house. So the unit that was on this house came with the house. And we knew that the compressor was an expensive band-aid, but it was going to be a band-aid. It was going to be to a point where the unit we were using just wasn't going to cut it anymore. So we knew we had to spend the money to have it replaced at some point. Well, that place is right now. Thankfully, the last time the compressor went out, we went to the store and bought a window unit to cool our bedroom off. I don't want to sleep where it's hot and I get sweaty, and I can't sleep when sweat's sliding down my neck. It just makes me a little crazy. I've done that before. Not a big fan. So we at least have a window unit to help keep us cool. I'm actually doing this in the podcast studio right now where there's no air and it's a little warm. That's why I'm doing it at 5 in the morning, almost 6. But I have worked enough and saved enough so that when it's time for a new air conditioner unit, or a new air conditioner, I can tell the guy, hey, I want to shop and find the right price. I want to be able to pick the one I want. I want to possibly upgrade if necessary. And I can make that choice because I've sacrificed, because I've earned that right. I've earned that money that's going to allow me to pay for that. And earning that money takes discipline. So there's a lot of discipline to life. There's discipline whether or not to, eat a whole bunch of sweets or drink in excess or to go to bed when you're supposed to. There's discipline to everything. There's discipline to knowing that you need to get up in the morning to go to work and setting your alarm early enough so that you're there in plenty of time to be prepared and to get your job done most efficiently. There's discipline to understanding that sometimes caffeine has an effect on you. Sometimes you need to cut out caffeine at a certain point in order to go to sleep at the right time. Sometimes there's discipline to say, I'm not going to stay up and play video games all night long. I'm going to actually be accountable and do the thing I'm supposed to do. Sometimes you have to say, I will do whatever because it's the right thing to do, not because I get any payoff for it. Discipline. In the Marine Corps, I learned discipline, but it goes further than that. My discipline started with my mother. My mother was a very focused person, is a very focused person. When we were young, we were not capable of affording an air conditioner. 1 year for her birthday, she asked her dad for a new tire for her Volkswagen. He asked, why do you need a new tire? She's like, because this one's flat. I've been patching it. I don't have enough for a new one. He went and took a look at it, and he got her 2 new tires. Happy birthday. Here's your 2 new tires. Her parents went through the Holocaust. Sorry. Her parents went through the Depression. And as kids during the Depression, they really worried that was going to happen again. So they saved at every chance they could. They lived way below their means. They made sure that when things went south, they were going to be okay. And they raise their kids, well, at least one of them, to have that mentality. And somewhere in there, that translated to my mother of be prepared, do whatever you have to do not to come back to this place. As a kid, she would often have teaching moments with me. Her job required her to be at work a lot, and she wanted a better future for us. But her only way to get there, and this is, I'm sure, at the heart of her motivation, was I got to go to work. I got to go to work to keep all this afloat. I got to go to work to provide for my son. I've got to go to work so that we can have a future. I've got to go get this education to make the income that I'm making better. I've got to go to work so that I can take care of my patients better. I got to go to work to make sure that I have a future that can be sustainable. My mom went to work and she worked hard. And I grew up around people who just went to work all the time because that's what you did. You go and you earn your money and you take care of your family. I don't remember tires ever being an issue after that one moment. I don't remember the moment. I don't remember the tire issue. I was too young, but I've heard about it a lot. I knew it kind of upset her to have to ask her parents for a tire. And she was grateful that she got two. She and I talked a lot about being grateful growing up, about realizing that God gives us gifts, and that sometimes those gifts are not what you think. Sometimes the gifts are little moments, little treasures where you've been doing the right thing because you've been following what you're supposed to do and it paid off. Yesterday, I had a really bad day at work. It turned into an okay day because I got done with it. All of the steps that I've done over the years prepared me for what happened yesterday. I could work around the obstacles. I could push through the obstacles. My air conditioner going out is another hurdle that I really couldn't do. I couldn't handle that because I wasn't here. I couldn't handle it because I didn't have my hands free to make phone calls, to consult people. What I did have was a take charge wife who did take charge. I told her on the phone, I said, I understand this is a problem. I can't handle this right now. I need you to help me. Do whatever you got to do. I trust you. And she did. When I came home yesterday, there was a guy crawling under the house, checking out the AC unit. Like I said, 3 years ago, we bought an air conditioner so that we could take care of our place whenever this happened again, because we knew it was going to happen again. That's the thing. People don't understand. The thing you think might happen might happen. So be prepared. Whenever everything is going great, that's when you should be prepared the most, because sometimes it doesn't. And if you're prepared, then you can handle adversity when it comes your way. You're better prepared for it. And that could be whether it has to do with your finances, whether it has to do with your state of mind, whether it has to do with the fact that you have taking care of food or family or your body or whatever. Be disciplined. Be prepared. I had a guy quit yesterday, and I'm not exactly sure why, other than the fact that he's lazy. And I'm going to call him out. I'm going to say he's lazy. Okay. I'm not going to say his name, but I'm just saying, guy's lazy. He was hired about a month ago, been on some routes with some people, and I know this is Memorial Day weekend. It's going to be a busy weekend. Plans changed yesterday. He needed to run a route with me, and he went in the next room and he told the guy, I quit. I'm not doing this. Why? Because he's going with me? Because I'm going to make him work? Because I'll make him do the right thing? Was he supposed to go with somebody who wasn't going to make him work? Maybe he thought he could just be lazy. Don't know. Point is, there was work to be done. He signed up to go to work. We didn't go knock on his door and be like, hey, we would really like you to come work here because that doesn't happen. Nobody does that. He sought out employment with us. He's like, I want to come here and work. Okay. So do the thing. It's still one of the hardest things for me to wrap my head around, the fact that people don't follow through with what they say they're going to do. A friend of mine passed away a few years ago. And when I met him, we just happened to meet by chance. We worked together for a while and had a lot of really great conversations, as men do. Looking back, I realized that I had reached being a man at this point because I had taken responsibility. I had discipline. I had a view about my life and about the world where I no longer asked questions. I felt like I was pushing myself in a direction and I followed through with all of it. And this guy told me, he said, you're the first person I've ever met who follows through with everything they say they're going to do. And I did not think at the time that that was a rarity. But here we are, probably 20 years later, and maybe it is a rarity. Maybe it is a character trait. Maybe it is because of my mother. Maybe it's because of the Marine Corps. Maybe it's because of the fact that I had grandparents who went through the Depression on both sides of the family. They had a different mentality about do the work. You said you're going to do it. Let's follow through. At times, I buy into Hollywood's fake idea of what life is. And I often ask myself questions like, are you happy? When the real question should be, are you satisfied? What is happiness? What is the thing that's going to make you happy? Is happiness a joy that you have from experiencing something? Is happiness a adventure? Is happiness the unexpected thing that makes you elated? What is happiness? Are people happy because they're not intelligent? Are people happy because they can't see the dangers that are around the corner or because they're unaware of the things that can go wrong in an instant? Am I am I at times unhappy because I am thinking about all those things? Or am I being prepared? Or am I being disciplined? Is it because I was raised a Southern Baptist? I don't find moments in my life where I need to break out into dance. And there's a lot of people who dance a lot. And I wish that honestly, I wish part of my brain would be like, hey, you can enjoy this and just let go. Just let go and dance. And I can't. I can't dance. Even slow dancing feels weird. It feels like I'm just, what am I supposed to do? Like I keep asking myself that. What am I supposed to do? Shuffle, shuffle. Am I supposed to get clothes here? Am I supposed to not? Maybe it's from being raised blue collar. Maybe it's from the idea of work being our modus operandum. Maybe I've watched people dance, and through the course of my history, I've watched most of those people turn out to be fools later on. And in my mind, I've learned a lesson and I've categorized that in my brain of, yeah, people who dance, think there's nothing wrong with the world, and there is. People who dance let go of uh, their inhibitions in a way that I can't because I'm overly concerned about things. Maybe it's from growing up as a single child with a mother that was raising her by herself, and she had way too much responsibility and really pushed herself. Maybe it was me watching that and admiring that way more than watching someone have a good time. It's not her fault. Like, none of this is her fault. That's the thing. I'm an adult. I'm I'm 48 years old. In your lifetime, I heard this on Dr. Drew. You make 90 decisions a day. Could be small, could be big. It might be as innocuous as, should I go to the bathroom now or wait 5 minutes? Should I put on this sock first or that sock? Should I wear this shirt with those pants? Should I wear these shoes with this belt? Should I eat now or maybe wait later? You make about 90 decisions a day. Sometimes they're really important decisions. Should I go to this school or that school? Should I have this job or that job? Should I date this girl or marry her? Should we break up? Should, whatever. Should I put this gas in it or go down the road where it's a little cheaper, but maybe I'm wasting too much fuel going there? So let's just say 90 decisions a day. Okay. Let me break out the old calculator. 90 times 365. That's 32,850 decisions a year that you've made. When you're young, you can blame your excuses and your problems and your whatever laziness, your faults, your insecurities, all of that. You could blame that on your parents. But after you make almost 33,000 decisions a year, at a certain point, you've defined who you are and you make decisions and you decide, am I going to be a piece of crap or am I going to be responsible? Am I going to piss away my life or am I going to take action? 33,000 decisions a year. After a while, your decisions are who you are. So I'm going to own up to my own stuff right now. And I'm going to say, I am this way because I am this way, because I chose to be. I could have changed. Listen, I'm on this podcast all the time talking about change, talking about how people can make decisions and change their life and alter their life. All it takes is the right mindset and the motivation. You put one foot in front of the other and you go that way. I often talk about my friend Greg's mom, Donna, telling me one time that she didn't believe in New Year's resolutions. She said, no, every second of the day you make a decision and you go that path. That's your resolution. You don't need a day to declare out loud to people, I'm going to lose weight this year. If you want to lose weight, lose weight. If you want a better job, get a better job. Quit talking about it. Do it. I am a result of what is before me. I'm also a result of what I've chosen. I am thankful that I was given this type of mentality. I know at times I sound like I resent it, but I don't. I was thankful yesterday when the AC went out because I knew that we had planned ahead. I knew that we were disciplined enough. I knew that we had prepared. I knew that I had money in the bank to pay for a new AC. I knew that we had a window unit that I could put in the window of our bedroom and sleep comfortably. I knew that I had done all the things that I was prepared for because it had been taught to me, because it had been ingrained in me, and because I had nurtured that same path and flourished in that path and realized that that path was going to make me a better person down the road. That path was going to make sure that when the AC went out, I had AC. I had a solution. I was thankful. I am thankful. Oftentimes, when things go sideways, we look at our situation and we're upset. And I was upset yesterday. But then I thought about the fact of, oh, why am I upset? Because I'm uncomfortable? Okay. That's one way to look at it. Another way to look at it is, thank God I have a job that I can work that provides me with the money that it takes to do this thing. Thank God I have a wife who is like minded, who is also thinking at times that, hey, we need to prepare and we need to save and we need to be ready for when things go sideways. I have a wife who's disciplined enough to go, we don't need to spend that money. We don't need to do that thing right now. We can wait. We know we have this expense coming. Let's prepare for it. Let's not go out and spend everything right now. I have a wife that also goes to work every day and works hard and has done every moment that I've known her. When I called her and said, or she called me and was complaining about the AC, and I told her, I said, I can't deal with this right now. I need you to handle this. She said, okay. And she did. And she understood what that meant. We have a vocabulary between us where we handle responsibility. We both do. She called around. She got a guy here. We'd used a guy for years and we couldn't get him to answer the phone. And she was a little distraught over that because we like to be loyal to the person who's taking care of us for so long. We love this guy. He was great to us. But we found out while we were looking around for other help that he's got some serious dementia going on. He's gotten older. He's not doing well. And it's sad. But, thankfully, we live in a day and age where we have social media and we have friends and everyone has a recommendation, and word of mouth goes beyond anything else. I trust people word of mouth than I do someone's Yelp review. And most of us do, especially here in the South. We are all about relationships here in the South. Hey, you know this guy? Is he good? He do good work for you? Oh, he also works for so and so? Cool. Good references. I like that. Through word of mouth, we were able to get a couple of offers. Now, this being a holiday weekend, they can't actually give us an offer till next week on what to do. And we have to weigh our decisions. We have to decide, are we going to replace what's there with the exact same thing, just a newer brand? Or are we going to go with a totally new system, maybe something more efficient? It may cost a little more. We'll make that decision and we'll go forward. And I'm thankful that I've done all of the things beforehand. I'm thankful that I've been disciplined enough. I'm thankful that I'm serious enough that I have prepared for this. I'm thankful that I haven't danced my life away. I know I said in the earlier parts of this that I wish I was one of those people who could just dance and be free and untethered. But if I was that person, would I be in the situation right now? I know there are people that balance that really well. I'm not that way. I'm serious. I joke a lot, but that's the extent to my freewheely thinking of, oh, things are great. I wish I could be one of those people that dance and balance life and also can take things seriously and prepare and. But there's only so much you can do, right? What I can do is I can go to work. I can take care of my responsibilities. I can be disciplined. And I can be the person that says they're going to do something and follows through with it no matter what. Because that's who I am. I own it. So if you're listening to this, ask yourself, what kind of person am I? And maybe think about your adversity and contemplate where you're thankful. Because sometimes adversity is a mindset. Sometimes you have to tell your brain, hey, this is tough, but here's a way out. Here's a solution. Here's something I've learned from this situation. Sometimes you have to be thankful in the lesson because you learn that you don't want to repeat that lesson. Now, that mindset comes from my mom. In adversity through life, mom has often said, yeah, this awful thing happened, but thankfully, here's a solution. So thank you, Mom. It matters. I've never seen you dance other than do your little finger wiggle thing to music, but I've seen you work and I've seen you take care of responsibility and I've seen you follow through and I've seen you motivate people and push people and get them to where they need to be. So thank you. And that's it. I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you to everybody who listens. Thank you to everybody who supports us. Thank you to everybody who reaches out on social media and tells us that you enjoy this. Thank you to everybody who's been a part of this. Thank you to everybody who has come on and been a guest. And even if it's just a passing in the hallway of, hey, man, I really enjoyed that one. Great. If I motivate you in any way, that's awesome. I know in a way this is my cheap therapy. I'm not paying anyone. I'm just talking to you guys, whoever's listening. I'm getting close to 100,000 downloads, which is crazy. 100,000 people. That's wild. Mine is not a rocket ship of popularity. Mine is blue collar. Mine is work ethic. Mine is the unrelenting idea that I'm going to keep making content and I'm going to keep trying to improve and I'm going to keep trying to entertain you guys and maybe teach you something along the way. Maybe teach you something about yourself. Maybe teach you something about me. Maybe teach you something about a TV show you should watch or why it refers to anything in life, why it has any sort of reference whatsoever. There's teachable moments in everything. If there's entertainment you want, I have watched a few things that are pretty entertaining. Flight Attendant on HBO Max, second season. Kaylee Kuko from The Big Bang Theory. First season was great. Second season, eh, it was okay. It was okay. Interesting plot twists. Nothing I didn't see coming, but an interesting way to show someone's inner struggle. They do a thing there where she is having conversations with different versions of herself. I thought that was pretty well done the way they did it. But yeah, check that out. Also on Netflix, Love, Death, and Robots. They're little animated shows. This grouping, there was one. The first one was just sort of humorous, but it was also one of those forewarning things about how humans are going to extinguish themselves if they're not careful. And it's an interesting, funny look at how some people view the world and how their extinction may be caused by their own overlooking of general facts. But the rest of the series, there's a lot of pretty violent ones. I mean, really grotesquely violent ones. There's a funny one, Mini Zombie Apocalypse, where it's like a micro version of the globe, and it shows from a distance these little people, and it's fast forwarded, and it shows how a zombie apocalypse breaks out, and things go crazy, and I think the whole video is maybe, I don't know, 11 minutes long. It's pretty cute. Um, there's some cool episodes. The last episode is probably the most visually beautiful, but also the weirdest. I felt like I needed an interpreter to tell me what the hell I was watching. I don't know. It was weird. Really weird. Obi-Wan Kenobi is on Disney Plus right now. 2 episodes came out yesterday. After my day yesterday, I got home and with the air conditioner unit in the window and a shower and something to eat, got to watch 2 episodes before I passed out. And I got to say, I'm really happy that Disney has the money, the motivation, and the foresight to hire the right people to tell this story and to keep this story going. I guess in a way, my dancing is not dancing. My dancing is through escapism of watching really good storytelling, which is maybe why I watch so many shows and talk about them so much. I want other people to experience that joy that I have in people's ability to tell a great story. Yeah. So I'm not going to spoil anything for it. Go check it out. It's pretty great. I'm probably going to talk about it at some point, but right now I don't want to. I want you to go watch it. So if you watched it, reach out to me. I want to talk about it. You can find everything for the podcast on www.stuffiheard.com. We can be reached at stuffiheardpodcast@gmail.com. There, trying to make my mouth move faster than my whatever. You guys get it. You get it. Podcast wise, I'm still listening to Dan Cummings. He's going on a 6-hour, 2-part podcast of the Holocaust. It's pretty terrifying, very sombering, very important to know. Yeah. There's some good jokes in there about Putin, though. I really like his Hotel California version of him singing. That's pretty great. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up. Thanks for listening. And as always, cue the cow.
So I want you guys to give me more likes. Give me more likes.